Beneath these mountains lies a wound that has never healed. For 10,000 years, the water has ruled this land. Now engineers plan to do something no nation has ever attempted. They are building a road that floats inside the sea itself. Norway has a coastline problem that sounds impossible to fix. More than 1,000 fjords slice through the land, cutting every road into pieces. The Sognefjord alone plunges 1,300 meters down, deeper than almost anywhere else on Earth, and nothing has ever crossed it directly. Right now, drivers along the western coast are forced to stop for a ferry 7 separate times just to travel the length of the country. In winter, those ferries cancel constantly, turning a simple trip into a 3-hour detour, and sometimes into a life-threatening delay. Ambulances get stuck waiting at the dock. Children miss school, and freight trucks lose entire days sitting at the water's edge. A journey from Kristiansand to Trondheim currently takes around 21 hours, even though the straight-line distance would only take about 4. Engineers studied the problem and landed on 3 brutal questions. Can you bridge it? Can you tunnel under it? Can you float a road through it? A normal bridge cannot span these fjords. Some crossings would require spans over 3 kilometers, far beyond what any suspension bridge can handle. A traditional underwater tunnel is just as hopeless here. The crushing rock pressure at these depths would destroy conventional tunneling equipment instantly. So Norway chose the option nobody had ever built before. A tunnel that does not sit on the seabed, but instead floats 30 meters below the surface. 2 massive concrete tubes would hang in the water, held in place by pontoons above and anchor cables reaching down toward the fjord floor. Inside, it feels like an ordinary road tunnel. 2 lanes, steady lighting, smooth pavement, completely unaware of the enormous ocean pressing in outside. Each wall of the tunnel must withstand roughly 3 atmospheres of water pressure, so the concrete shell is built about 1 meter thick for safety. The pontoons absorb the punishing force of storm waves, while the anchor cables keep the entire structure locked within about 1 meter of tolerance. Because the tunnel floats well below the keel of any passing ship, cruise liners and cargo vessels can cross directly overhead without ever noticing it. The tubes themselves are cast on land in sections roughly 200 meters long, then floated out and towed into position like massive ships. Ballast tanks slowly fill with water to sink each section to the exact target depth, adjusted down to the centimeter before it locks into place. Divers handle the shallow connections between sections, but cables anchored 1,000 meters down are far too deep for any human, so robotic vehicles finish the job. Winter storms in these fjords can produce waves up to 4 meters high, yet engineers say the tunnel itself should barely move at all. Meanwhile, a related project called Rogfast is already under construction nearby, boring a conventional tunnel 392 meters beneath the seabed. Rogfast is expected to open around 2033, and the same crews and lessons from that project will likely carry directly into the floating tunnel program. The full estimated price tag for one major floating crossing alone is roughly $25 billion, with the entire coastal highway program reaching near $40 billion. If everything goes as planned, the very first floating tunnel could open sometime in the 2030s, decades after the concept was first patented back in 1919. Countries like Italy, China, Scotland, and South Korea are all watching closely, since they face similar deep water crossings with no existing solution of their own. Once finished, this project would not just save time, it would end a century of ferries, delays, and isolation for entire coastal communities in one stroke. If one tube ever floods or catches fire, drivers are not trapped. connecting passages every 250 meters, let them evacuate into the second tube within seconds. Fire suppression systems inside the tunnel are designed to activate within 30 seconds, with pressurized escape shafts pushing smoke out before it can spread. Just a short distance away, a separate project called Rogfast is already boring through solid rock 392 meters below the fjord floor. Rogfast will include the deepest road junction ever built inside a mountain, an underwater roundabout carved 250 meters beneath the sea. Crews are removing about 10 million cubic meters of rock for that project alone, advancing through the mountain at roughly 4 meters of progress each day. Rogfast is scheduled to finish around 2033, and many of the same engineers will carry their experience directly into the floating tunnel program. Before any floating tunnel can be approved, engineers are running wave tank tests that have already stretched across 15 years of continuous research. Waves strike the pontoons roughly 10 times every minute, which over a full century adds up to an estimated 5 billion individual impacts on the structure. Norway also has to plan for rare earthquakes. The tunnel must be able to withstand a magnitude 5 event without a single leak forming. There is even a risk from ships losing control on the surface, since some vessel keels can reach 15 meters deep, dangerously close to the tunnel itself. Thick protective concrete covers the tunnel to guard against a dragging anchor, though engineers admit there is still no perfect answer for every scenario. Once approved, Norway's parliament still has to sign off on funding before construction can begin, and that vote is not expected before the late 2020s. The very first floating tunnel candidate is a shorter 1.2 kilometer crossing at Sognefjord, likely to open years before the larger Sognefjord version. A trip between Bergen and Stavanger currently takes about 5.5 hours, a number engineers expect to cut down to under 3 hours once the E39 is complete. University students who currently take 3 separate ferries just to reach classes in Bergen would eventually have a single uninterrupted road connection. Norway's fjords already draw massive tourism traffic every year, and removing the ferry bottlenecks would make the entire western coast far easier to explore. The idea itself is not new. A British engineer first patented a floating tunnel concept back in 1919, over 100 years before Norway attempted to build one. Countries watching closely include Italy for its deep alpine lakes, China for its Three Gorges region, and Scotland for its steep sea lochs, all searching for a similar solution. Workers are already being trained for the floating tunnel program years before construction even begins, so the workforce will be ready the moment funding is approved. If everything proceeds as planned, Norway will end 10,000 years of ferry dependence with a structure that has never existed anywhere else in the world.